Okay, I said I'd make a video about the gap down. So if I'm looking across the board at all of these tickers, right? Because there was a lot of mentions of trading a gap down. Not a gap down, pardon me, trading the gap up down, which these are the gaps that people are talking about. Hello. Okay. Right. So on Monday, lots of things gapped up. Today as well, but way more on Monday, right? So, and let me just check my trade really quickly. Okay, great. Nvidia is not going to stop. Microsoft, let's go. I'm not in that. Okay. Look at the strength that we're seeing in the market, right? And I'm going to go, oh my gosh, look at Tesla, right? Okay, like, yeah, there's a gap there to be filled. I would reckon that a lot of things may have gaps on the upside as well. I haven't drawn that yet. But, and I can just make this larger. So, the big things in the market are showing strength, right? And I can just tell, I can flip through this like this and just tell, look at Palantir. That's actually insane. I'm so sad I missed Palantir. I can see, especially the indices, right? So here's SPY, here are the Qs. There is nothing about this that is indicating that we're going to be going the other way, right? It's actually like really, it's an aggressive stance to have to assume that we're going to flip this red because there's not enough proof, right? Adobe, crazy. Crowd, crazy. Costco is, we've talked about in my previous video, like, I'm amazed, but it is what it is. Snow. W is not really included in that. Carvana, AVGO, Cat. Like, these are aggressive moves. DraftKings not really included in that. I think FSLR had news, so that's less exciting. XYZ. Oh, me and Salonki talked about this. It filled that gap. How upsetting. We talked about this when it was down here off this inside day. Win some, you lose some. So just have a flip through, right? Like, things are showing significant strength, right? Mara is crypto. But if you just look at things that are big in the market, you could really just focus on the Mag 7 and the indices and you would see how strong we are. But if you want to kind of flip through more things, because I don't really scan, like I hardly use any type of scan or anything like that. I can just do this in 10 minutes and see, all right, there's quite a bit of strength. And then I can also see what are things that are not showing strength. It would be a couple of financials is what I just saw, and healthcare. Most other things, and consumer cyclicals. Right, okay, so this is part of the Costco situation, right? Because Walmart is down, Target is down, Nike is inside but kind of down. Okay, that makes sense to me about Costco, so I should have just been watching that better. But yeah, this is a way to get an indication of relative strength across the market. So this alone is reason to not be shorting the market. And I would actually also suggest trading tickers that have enough liquidity to actually provide you with significant gains, right? You don't have to, but that's definitely what I would suggest. Meta may fill this gap. It's not happening today, and I can see that. Like I have these hammers, right? Previous day hammers. So let's focus on maybe the Mag 7. Well, I guess we'll focus on my favorites. Yesterday, kind of a hammer. Nvidia, obviously hammer. Amazon, hammer. Apple, hammer. Tesla, hammer. Microsoft, hammer. Right? Like, I'm going through these and it's just like, there's no indication that we're going down. And you can draw your broadening formations if you want. At this point, I kind of just see it with my eyes, right? Like, we hit the bottom, now we're going back to the top. That's kind of a shitty one, but something more like that. But you can draw them across the board. There's just really no indication for me personally, apart from like consumer cyclicals, I guess. I just wasn't paying attention to that. I should have shorted Costco had I been paying attention. But there's just no indication of reason to short. I hope that's helpful. Like, this is probably not my most helpful video, but I don't know what more to say. You know what I mean? Like, shorting just isn't the play. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Like, but look at the indices. Shorting this is crazy. Look at this. This is just a 4 hour. This is the perfect day. You could enter on the day and you would have the best day of your life. So yeah. All right. I'm done.